Please read and pay attention to the disclaimer on this slide. Buying a stock without knowing its valuation multiple, like the price-earnings ratio, is like flying a plane blindfolded through a narrow valley of erupting volcanoes. It's quite reckless. We said in Lesson 3 that assessing risk and reward is one of the skills that most defines the best investors in the world. If you don't know how to calculate a company's market valuation and understand its importance, then evaluating the risk and reward of investing in its stock is very difficult to do effectively. Before we talk about stock valuation, let's talk about the art world. Great paintings touch our souls, connecting us to another human being through their unique artistic expression. Leonardo da Vinci famously said, "Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art." On Wall Street, investors care more about what a painting is worth than whose souls they touch. Famous paintings are great stores of value, with works selling for many millions of dollars. This brings us to a challenging question. How do you really know if one painting is worth more than another? It's not so easy. I'll show you. Look at the two paintings on the slide. Which one do you think is worth more? Examine each one closely for a few seconds. This is an easy question to guess an answer to. The painting on the left looks like a masterpiece from the Renaissance period, while the one on the right looks like something you would buy in a tourist shop to make people laugh. As it turns out, the painting on the left is thought to be a lost Leonardo da Vinci painting called the Salvator Mundi. It sold at auction for $450 million in 2017. It is the most expensive painting ever sold. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the painting on the right is not the work of Da Vinci, and it's not worth anything close to $450 million. Shall we try a more difficult question? Which one of these paintings is worth more? Most people I've asked guess the painting on the right is the more expensive one. The truth is, my 6-year-old son, Cash, painted that one. The painting on the left is titled White on White, and was painted by a famous artist named Kazimir Malevich. It hangs in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City and is estimated to be worth $85 million. I do love my son, but his painting is not worth that much. It turns out it's quite hard to determine the value of a painting. What makes it so challenging to value them is that you can't compare how much income each one generates. They're paintings. They don't generate income. They hang on walls or sit in vaults and hopefully appreciate over time. Of course, you can ask an art expert. However, in the art world, even the experts can be 100% wrong. In 2009, the largest art fraud in American history began to unravel and come to light. It was discovered that the Knoedler Gallery, once a prestigious institution, sold millions of dollars worth of forged paintings by abstract expressionist masters like Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko. The size of the fraud was estimated to be $80 million. Like we just said, it's hard to objectively calculate the relative values between different paintings because they don't generate income. With companies, we can employ objective valuation tools because they do generate income. It is important to have objective valuation metrics when evaluating a stock for investment. As much bias as possible needs to be removed from the investment process. This can be difficult to do if an investor's decisions are being governed by subjective factors, like gut feelings or emotions. Remember, emotions are the enemy of successful investing. That's been true for hundreds of years. For example, during the 17th century, speculation in tulips soared to insane levels. People lost their minds and were paying the cost of a luxurious house for a single tulip bulb. You want to avoid getting caught up in market frenzies and speculative bubbles while your emotions get the better of you. Objective valuation metrics can help remove bias and emotions by providing an impartial and quantifiable basis for measurement. In this lesson, we are going to focus on one of the most popular valuation metrics, the price-earnings ratio.